Welcome to the New to Crypto podcast, designed to guide you through the crypto landscape with pinpoint accuracy, created for the new and intermediate crypto investor. Join your host, Crypto Travels Michael, as he takes you through the different facets of getting started and succeeding in your crypto journey. New to Crypto podcast brings you new episodes daily, Monday through Friday, with surprise bonus episodes sometimes on the weekend. Let me ask you, are you new to crypto? Don't know where to start? Are you more experienced but have questions? Then you're in the right place. This podcast is designed for you. Coming at you from the Trading Center in the Lifestyle Design Studio, here's your host, Crypto Travels Michael.
Brave Wallet is the first secure crypto wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. No extension required. You can store, manage, and grow your portfolio, get NFTs and multi-chain support. Download the Brave privacy browser at brave.com/new-to-crypto and click on the wallet icon to get started.
Hey, welcome to today's podcast. Today I have the CEO and co-founder of a hot new NFT project built on Algorand, which involves a metaverse. Help me in welcoming Matty, the co-founder of Cosmic Champs, to today's episode. Matty, man, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me onto the show.
Absolutely. Hey, man, before we dive into all things NFTs and metaverse, et cetera, can you just share with our audience a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So, as you said, I'm Matty. I'm one of the co-founders of Cosmic Champs. I'm a gamer. I've been playing games my whole life. I'm a PhD student in psychology at the moment, hoping to wrap that up next year. I teach statistics at uni, and data analytics is an area that I'm really excited about and interested in. And I'm a surfer. I've run a few businesses in the past in the music industry and have been investing in crypto since about 2015.
Awesome, man. Talk about a diverse background. I love the part about the surfing as well. You know, having lived in Australia, which is where you are, and Hawaii before, Can you share with our listeners, give them an intro as to what Cosmic Champs is?
Sure. So I guess at a really high level, Cosmic Champs is the play-to-earn game that we're building on Algorand. So it's going to be mobile first. So we're really aiming to target people who are playing games on their smart devices. And, we want to break down the barriers to entry that exist with most of the play-to-earn games that are already out there. So we want to make it a really seamless and easy onboarding process that's similar to free-to-play games. So the format of our game, it's a real-time strategy game. It's a Tower Rush style. So it'll be in real time. It'll be fast-paced. It'll be action-packed and exciting to play.
Awesome. Will there be an app to download? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. And I saw that your game setting takes place in 13,000 years from now. Can you share with us about why, where that came from?
There's an arbitrariness to the number, but the idea was to set it so far from today that it gives us the freedom to play around with the world and shape it however we like. I think it just allows for a lot of creativity, right? The further it is from today's world, the less realistic to right now people expect the game to be. So it just gives us a lot of creative license to make it really fun and exciting and creative.
Absolutely. So, Matty, how did this project come about? Like, what was the inception? Is there a story behind it? Or, can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So my co-founder and I, we met through another game that he was making. So he's a game dev. That's his background. And my co-founder's name's Simon. And he was working on this previous game called Mount Frosty. I was brought in to help out a little bit, just to do some consulting. And, we clicked. We got along well. He had an idea for a new game. Really, he had the seed of the idea, because then I took that idea and really fleshed it out and developed it a lot. So it was a collaborative effort. But the inception started with Simon, and we built what has turned into Cosmic Champs together over some time back then. So that was probably 2 or 3 years ago that we met at the other game. And really started working on this project about a year ago. That was when we sort of kicked it up and decided to properly throw everything into it.
Okay. So can you share all the different components of it? So you have a game. We're going to get into your token in a minute. Can you unpack about the Cosmic Metaverse?
Yeah, sure. So Cosmic Champs is the first game in this metaverse that we're hoping to build. And the idea really is that we want to have an interconnected ecosystem of games where Cosmic Gold, that's our governance token that we've launched. This is the governance token that rules the whole metaverse. And we want our NFTs to be portable. So the NFTs that people can buy for Cosmic Champs will be transportable into the other games that we build in the future. And those games will be designed with those NFTs in the front of our mind. They won't be an add-on later. They'll be designed to give true utility and functionality to those games from the beginning. So, we want the Cosmic Champs NFTs to have a lot of value and a lot of utility. And we think that allowing them to be used in multiple games and across the metaverse is the way to do that. But it's not just about games. We want to give the tools for creating our world and adding to it to the community. So Cosmic Gold will be this reward token that rewards people for adding and building on the world that we're creating. There's lots of things in the metaverse. We've got VR spaces where our community can come together and hang out. There'll be a marketplace so that we can have lower fees for our community, and then as well, more income flowing into the ecosystem, to the community treasury. And we're planning to transition to a DAO in the future. So as I said, Cosmic Gold is a governance token. So when that transition starts to take place, people who hold the token, and hopefully they're our players, they'll be able to vote on changes to the games and to the metaverse.
Nice. What are the tokenomics? What does it look like for the Cosmic Gold token?
So we launched the Cosmic Gold token a few weeks ago, and it's going really well. So far, so good. But the basic tokenomics, we had a private sale with about 18% that went to VCs, about 50% of the tokens allocated to the community. So that's through play to earn rewards and staking rewards and airdrops and other marketing pushes for community growth. And I think it was about 15% to the team, and the rest was in reserves and marketing budgets and things like that. So as I said, the token is out now and can stake it. So the staking pools are already live. They're happening through Yieldly. So anyone who's holding our token is now staking them there to earn extra rewards.
Nice. And what's the total supply of your token?
270 million. And circulating supply at the moment is just under 13%.
Okay. And for everyone listening, what's that ticker, your token's ticker?
COSG. So COSG. COSG.
COSG. Okay. And I saw you chose to build on Algorand. Can you share with us a little bit why?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we think that Algorand has a really bright future, and it's a really undervalued blockchain. There's a lot of great reasons to build on Algorand. One of the big ones is that it's carbon negative. So, Algorand was designed and developed with its impact on the environment in mind. Another great set of reasons is that it's scalable, it's secure, and the cost of transactions are really low, and they always will be really low, which makes it perfect for a play-to-earn game like ours that's going to have thousands of microtransactions every single day. And the speed of transactions is always going to be fast as well. I think it's 4.5 seconds or just below that for confirmation of transactions. So all these things together make it really well suited to a game like ours. And another good reason is that there's some interesting and unique features of Algorand that allow us to create wallets for people when they download our app automatically, which means that, I touched on it at the start of our conversation that we wanted to remove a lot of the barriers that exist for onboarding people into play-to-earn games. And, this is the creation of a wallet. People often have to create a wallet, link it to the game, and buy NFTs before they can start playing. So it means that they have to have crypto knowledge and experience first, and they have to invest in the project before they've actually started playing the game and they know if they like it. And we think that's the wrong way around. We think you should be playing the game first. You should develop a love of the game before you invest in it. Because there's so many games out there vying for your attention. I think it's going to be harder and harder to convince people to buy into a game before they've even played it or seen what it looks like. So the way Algorand works, it allows us we can still give people assets without them having a wallet. So we can automate that process of creating a wallet for them and have their assets that they're earning while they're playing flow into that wallet. And they can take ownership of that wallet, which it can be rekeyed, which means that the passphrase or the keys for that wallet will be reassigned to them. There'll be new keys, but it will be the same wallet. So that's one really interesting feature that allows us to onboard people more easily.
Absolutely. That's huge. I mean, that's almost a game changer for people who are new,
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they don't have a wallet, or maybe they don't have a wallet on Algorand,
totally.
et cetera. And I love that you can play the game and get to get to see if this is the one that you really want, to be involved in before acquiring some of the assets. But the fact that if you acquire some of the game assets before, and you guys actually have a way for those to be, transferred over, if you will, or obtained by the users, that's awesome. I see that your game does player to player and player versus computer.
Yeah, so we'll launch first with player versus computer. The player versus player gameplay is much more complex, so that's going to require a bit more testing before we launch it. So we'll just launch with player versus computer, and that'll be happening the end of this quarter is when we launch the closed beta. So anyone who holds one of our NFTs will have priority access, first access to the beta when that launches, and then we'll have an open beta that happens after maybe a month or so of that initial testing phase. And the first version of the game will publicly launch next quarter. So I'd expect it to be later next quarter.
Okay, awesome. And it looks like you're going to have tournaments as well, huh?
Yeah. Well, we think tournaments are super fun. People love tournaments in games.
Oh, yeah. I think you guys are going in the right direction.
Brave Wallet is the first secure crypto wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. What's Web3? Web3 is freedom from big tech and Wall Street. More control and better privacy. But there's a weak point in Web3. Your crypto wallet. Most wallets are browser extensions, a Web2 technology. That means the same old risks. App spoofing, phishing scams, and theft. Brave Wallet is different. Brave Wallet is the first secure wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. No extension required. With Brave Wallet, you can buy, store, send, and swap assets, manage NFTs, even connect other wallets and dApps, all from the security of the best privacy browser on the market. Whether you're new to crypto or a seasoned pro, it's time to ditch those risky extensions. It's time to switch to Brave Wallet. Download Brave at brave.com/new to crypto and click on the wallet icon to get started.
Can you share with our listeners what problems does Cosmic, resolve in the gaming experience?
Yeah, so I just touched on one of them, and there's two that we're really focusing on, and one of them is what I just touched on about making it easy to onboard players, removing the barriers to entry. I'm not familiar with any other play-to-earn games that don't force players to set up a wallet, connect it, and buy NFTs first. I think it's pretty much a universal experience at the moment with play-to-earn games. And as I said, there's a lot of problems with that, and I don't think that's the future of play-to-earn. I think there's 3 billion gamers out in the world, and the number that are crypto natives is going to be tiny in comparison. There's probably a few million people who are in the crypto space that play games and are playing games. We saw Axie Infinity blow up. That did really well, and that did an amazing job of bringing new people into crypto, which was awesome. But if we can remove those barriers, then we can unlock the 3 billion gamers that are out there and potentially onboard them. I'm not saying we're going to have 3 billion players in our game, but by unlocking that market, it gives you a much greater potential for success and a much larger base of players that are going to be active in your ecosystem. So removing those barriers, that's one of the things that makes us unique. So as I said, no wallets required, no NFTs are required, no investment at all is required in our projects. You don't even need to buy our token. You can just start playing the game. You download it from the App Store, you start playing, and you won't even know that the blockchain is integrated into the game. It will feel like a free-to-play game. And so we think that's the future of play-to-earn games, making it a seamless experience, making it as close to free-to-play games as possible so that anyone can enjoy it without any knowledge of crypto at all. The other one is that we want our game to be super fun and real-time. So most of the crypto games are turn-based. They have this slow gameplay that requires you making a turn and then waiting for the opponent to make a turn. And this is fun, but I think the amount of fun that it can deliver is limited because people who aren't in the crypto space, they're used to playing real-time games. They're used to playing games at a fast pace. There's a lot of action. And if you don't play your turn, then you just lose, right? Because the other opponent is going to keep attacking you or whatever the game is, and they're going to win. So the two main things that set us apart from a lot of other crypto games are that, we're going to be set in real time, or the gameplay is going to be in real time. It's going to be really fun and exciting to play. And we're removing those barriers to entry so that we can onboard a potentially much larger community of users.
Awesome. I like that part of it. I see that you have like 6 types of NFTs in the ecosystem, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you share some? Yeah. Why is there six types, and what are they?
All right. So they all serve different functions in the game. So as I said, the game is a tower rush style strategy, real-time strategy game. So firstly, you need characters that are going to battle each other. These are the champs. So you'll have up to 8 of them in your deck. And then you need a spaceship. And the spaceship will transport your deck, your characters, your champs, to the different planets where the battle arenas are. And while you're in battle, the ship will be mining the natural resources of the planet. And when you get enough of those resources, you can use them to build a new ship. So that's a nice mechanism just to control the supply of ships. So then we have the planets, as I mentioned, which host the battle arenas. These are also NFTs. And people can buy and own these planets and share in the revenue of the game. So when a battle takes place on a planet, only the winner will get play to earn rewards. The loser gets nothing, but the planet owner will also get a share of the winnings. So there'll be this nice passive incomes that come through owning one of the planets. But the really cool thing about Algorand is that we can have fractional NFTs. So this means that we can have a planet that has, say, 1,000 fractions, and that means we can have 1,000 different owners of the planet. So we can have community-owned planets, not just planets owned by whales or VCs, because they're the only ones that can afford it. So it means that each slice of the planet or each fraction will cost, a fraction of the total cost of the planet, which makes it, I think, provides an entry point for anyone in the community to own a slice of one of those planets and earn some of that passive income, which is super cool. And we have a couple of other NFTs. We've got blueprints, which are just the plans or the designs that are used to make the ships. We've got treasures, which are going to be, they can be anything and everything. Treasures are just things that will enhance the gameplay in some way. So it could give some of your champs a power up, say like increase their speed or attack strength temporarily, or it could increase the play to earn rewards. There's lots of different things that you can do with the treasures. So they're going to enhance the gameplay in a variety of different ways. And then there's utilities, and these are things like spells, magic, buildings that can be deployed in gameplay that create new characters or whatever. So there's a whole raft of different types of NFTs, and all of them serve different functions in the game.
Okay. And I see that you have 2D and 3D models. I'm actually in your white paper checking that out with some of the cards. And then I wanted to get into the traits with the champs.
Yeah, so all of the NFTs will be 3D models. We are a 3D game, so they'll all be 3D models, but you need to have 2D representations of those models as well. So when someone buys our NFT, they'll be able to view the 3D model. They'll be able to spin it around and play around with it and see it from every angle. But, in the game when you're playing, you need to have, just a flat 2D representation of your champs as a card, so you can choose which one you want to drop into the arena when you're playing. So the game will have both.
Okay. And I see there's up to 9 traits for each champ. And I know a lot of our NFT collectors and listeners, they're going to be interested to know this part. So you want to share with them some of the info about the traits.
Yeah, sure. So there's up to 9 traits, and this just allows us to play around with the stats and the gameplay and how each of our champs interacts within the game. So, one of the traits will be the guild that they're a part of, which, won't necessarily have anything to do with gameplay, but it's more to do with the backstory of the character. So it describes which faction or which guild that character is a part of. And then there's things like, typical things like strength and, that's, their attack strength. There might be speed. And there's a whole range of different things. Some of them will be common across characters and others will be unique to each type of character.
Okay. And I see that you chose to go the season route with releasing different quantities of NFTs. Yeah. You have the Genesis season. And can you share a little bit about that, about how that will work?
Yeah. So every 3 months, we'll be dropping a new season of NFTs, and each new season will contain new champs, different types of champs that haven't been seen before. So we'll be starting off with a really small drop in season 1. It's only about 1,500, and we'll be building, we'll be growing that number of NFTs as our community grows. So we wanted to keep it small initially because, we're just starting out. We're a new project, and we would rather have a smaller number of NFTs to keep them scarce, keep the value there for the community, and I guess keep it exciting. When you have a smaller drop, people are more excited because they're harder to get. They're a bit rarer. And we'll just, as I said, we'll build from there. So each season there'll be new champs. There'll be a greater number of champs, and we're not planning to re-release any of the same NFTs in future seasons. We might at some point, but for the time being, we're going to be releasing completely new characters with completely new skin designs each season.
Okay. Can you share about the NFT staking? I know this is going to grab the ears and listening of some of our listeners. What is that and how is that going to work?
Yeah, so we this isn't available yet. The NFTs aren't out yet. So the NFT staking isn't something that's available just yet. But we want to give our community multiple ways of extracting value from their assets. So I think NFT staking is a really good way of doing that. Ultimately, an NFT is a token that's not that different from a fungible token, like one of our CosG tokens. So actually setting up the staking is quite easy. But as I said, it's just about giving our community options of how they're going to use their assets. So you might be playing with them with your NFTs in the game, but you might have more NFTs than you can hold in one of your decks. And remember, this is a game, so people are going to have their favorite configurations of champs. So they'll have their favorite decks of champs that go together. And when they're not using an asset, they'll want to know what can I do with it that's going to bring value to me. And NFT staking is one of those pathways. And another one is that will allow people to loan out their NFTs to other players. So if you're not using an NFT that you have, then you'll be able to loan it to somebody else through our scholarship platform in the game app. And that'll allow you to take a share of their earnings through the game. So there's going to be lots of ways that you can extract value from the NFTs, and you can put your NFTs to good use. So even if you're not using them today, you can let somebody else use them, or you can stake them, and you can get passive value out of it that way.
Oh man, I love that. I love the creativity of how you guys have went above and beyond, thinking about the player in the future, thinking about each person that's playing. That's awesome. The lending NFT as well as staking, NFT. You touched on the marketplace. Are there any other components of the marketplace that you want to share or unpack?
Not at this point. I think it's too early. Having our own marketplace is something that's off in the distant future. We'll be launching the first season of NFTs in about a month's time, and we'll be selling them through an existing marketplace. So we're working on a partnership deal at the moment, and we'll have our own page on their marketplace where only our NFTs will be held for sale. So that'll be nice. But as I said, in the future, we will plan to build our own marketplace because it gives you greater control. It allows you to tailor the marketplace specifically to the needs of your project, and it reduces the fees. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely. So can you share, Matty, with us a little bit about your roadmap here in 2022 and beyond and what that looks like?
Yeah, sure. So our token has already come out. That's already happened. We're getting ready to launch our first season of NFTs. That'll be happening in about a month's time. And the big events from there are the release of the closed beta of the game at the end of this quarter, then the release of the first public version of the game next quarter. And then we'll have a new season. As I said a new season of NFTs will also come out each quarter. So we'll have one Q2, Q3, Q4 this year. And as I said, gameplay beta this quarter, public version of the game next quarter, which will be player versus computer only. And the following quarter, there'll be another season of NFTs and then the player versus player version of the game. So that multiplayer capability will be launched at the end of the year.
Okay. And what is the best way that our listeners can join your community and reach out and be involved?
Yeah, so we've got all the usual social channels set up. So we've got Discord, Telegram, Twitter, and Reddit. So all of those, we're making all announcements through all of those channels. So choose your preferred platform. Mine is probably Discord. I think it's a much nicer layout and allows you to organize information in a clearer, coherent way. So I like Discord, but take your pick. We've got them all set up. All the announcements are going out to all of them.
Awesome. And we'll have all those links on the episode blog post page today on our website, and how to contact Matty and his team and join in via their socials and be part of the community. Man, I really like what you guys have going on in Cosmic Champs. Is there anything else you want to share with the listeners about what you guys have going on?
We are releasing gameplay footage, so we haven't done that yet. So we'll be releasing gameplay footage in probably 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So that'll be happening before the first season of NFTs come out. So keep an eye out. I think it'll be really exciting. And it'll be, I think it'll be a new step for play to earn gaming.
Okay, awesome. No, I look forward to it. I'll be following as well myself. And next time I'm in Australia, we'll have to grab a surf.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Definitely. Hey, Matty, it was a pleasure to have you here on today's show. And thanks for coming out. And man, we welcome you back in the future.
It was awesome to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. If you liked today's episode, definitely like and subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, click that little bell notification and subscribe to the channel. Show your support and chime in here tomorrow for another special episode. Until then, make it a great day.
Thanks for tuning in to New to Crypto Podcast. If you liked the episode, be sure to follow and subscribe. You can listen to every episode on all major platforms. Have an interest in being on the show or want advertising? Reach out at newtocrypto.io. Head over to our site, newtocrypto.io, to access the resources mentioned in each episode. Until next time, remember to navigate the crypto landscape with pinpoint accuracy.